Hey guys, my name is CJ, this is Jumpstart Hobbies, and today I'm going to build an epic water Pokemon diorama. So how do you build a Pokemon diorama? I start by sketching my ideas. At first I have an idea for a round base with a palm tree in the center, with Pokemon sitting around it. I decided that this wasn't going to have a good enough view and just not overall cool enough, so I moved on to idea number 2, which was a rectangular base with deeper water effects. At first I drew 4 Pokemon playing at a beach: Squirtle, Mudkip, Totodile, and Psyduck. On second glance, I thought the first 3 were too similar in hue, so I decided to add a 5th Pokemon, Goldeen. This let me split the setup for a better contrast of colors. After adding a Pokemon logo to the piece, I was happy with the design, and started searching online for 3D printable STL files for Pokemon. I went to Thingiverse and found these 2 creators who had some sweet files I could use. After downloading the files, I loaded them into Lychee Slicer and prepared the files for printing. With the files saved, I inserted the USB drive into my Anycubic Photon Mono 4K and fired up the machine. Then I poured some Anycubic resin into the vat and clicked a few buttons and watched the process begin. Nearly 3 hours later, I removed the prints and placed them into the washing station. As I did this, I realized my Goldeen print had failed due to not properly supporting it. Luckily, this gave me an even cooler idea, so I got back online and found a file with a base and stem included. This would give me the perfect chance to test out some clear resin I'd purchased. After cleaning out the gray resin and slicing the new file, I load the clear resin into the machine and click a few more buttons. While the Goldeen is printing, I decide to start working on the base of the diorama. I take a sheet of plywood and cut it to 6 by 9 inches. Then I find a sheet of cardboard from an old sketchbook that was also 9 inches wide and decide it would be perfect for building up the sand terrain. I took some measurements and used a box cutter to get the pieces I need, deciding I can use the rest as a cool background. I used some PVA glue to adhere the pieces to the wood and set some weight on it until it dries. A short while later, the Goldeen print is finished, and once it is cleaned, I use the washing station to UV cure the prints. To prepare the prints for painting, I take some wooden dowels and top them with some blue tack poster putty. I stick each mini onto its own handle and fire up my airbrush. Using Pro Acryl black primer, I coat each mini with a smooth black surface. Then I use Daler-Rowney white ink for a zenithal highlight from above to really make the details pop. Once all of the prints were primed and highlighted, I prepared my wet palette for painting. After 5 years, my wet palette has worn out the sponge, so I'm substituting it with paper towels at the moment. I soaked them with water and cut out a sheet of parchment paper as a mixing surface. I decided to start with Squirtle and tested out different camera views along the way. My process changed for each mini, but one thing to remember is most Pokemon have a primary color, a shadow color, and a highlight color. I wanted to keep the style clean like the cartoon art, so I tried to recreate the Pokedex website images. I used some of the same colors between all of the minis. Tongues, I used Vallejo Dark Red and Pro Acryl Brilliant Red. Black lining, I used Vallejo Black. White, I used Pro Acryl Titanium White. For Squirtle, the shadow color was Pro Acryl Dark Gray Blue. Primary color was Pro Acryl Gray Blue. Highlight color was Pro Acryl Sky Blue. The belly was Pro Acryl Golden Brown mixed with Vallejo Khaki. Shell color was Pro Acryl Dark Umber and Pro Acryl Light Umber. I continued with this process for the rest of the Pokemon. Here are the colors for each and how they turned out. I go back to working on the base, trimming the corners of the cardboard to smooth out the terrain. Then I make a mixture of plaster, PVA glue, paint, and water to form the shape of the beach. While it's still wet, I sprinkle some fine sand on top to give it the right texture. Once it dries, I spray the whole piece with Rust-Oleum satin ivory silk to give it the sand look and seal in the terrain. I originally planned to use Vallejo's still water effects for the ocean, but decided to use a 2-part epoxy instead. Before I can pour the resin, I seal Totodile into position and lock him into place with green stuff. Then I use the same technique on the Pokemon logo. While they are curing, I do some work on the background piece. I take the leftover cardboard and start applying a blue primer and matte varnish so the surface will be less absorbent. Then I use the airbrush to lay down some water and sky colors. I finish by using a brush to paint in some clouds. During the process, I was debating how I would create the boundaries for the resin. After thinking of ways to build all 3 walls or use only tape around the perimeter, I decided to attach the background to the base, then used packing tape to seal the sides. With the base ready for pouring, I moved to the garage and start mixing the resin. I use a drop of Vallejo's blue ink to color the resin before slowly pouring the ocean waters. I cautiously use a heat gun to eliminate the bubbles as the resin settles. While the water effect is still wet, I sit the rest of the Pokemon into place. Toward the end of the project, I got the idea to have a Pokeball floating in the water, so after printing and painting one of those, I place it in the water as well. Then place a cover over the work and wait 24 hours for it to dry. With the base safe to work on again, I use gloss Mod Podge to create some ripples and a little paint for the foaming waters. And with the final touches applied, it's time for the big reveal. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I had a blast making it, and I hope it gets enough attention to warrant doing other videos like this in the future. The only question is, what kind of diorama should I do next? Check out mykit.co in the description below for affiliate links of all the stuff I use or recommend. Like, comment, subscribe, click this video, and until next time, we'll see y'all later.